So I invested heavily into crypto whenever I was...
Heavily?
Heavily.
Okay.
So I put around 18K in there.
Oh.
And it went up to around 32, didn't take it out, was an idiot. Now it's around 3,500.
Oh. From 17 to 3,500?
Yeah, that was...
Oh.
It hurts.
Why?
My name is Connor. I'm 25. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm a cloud engineer consultant.
What do you do for... Oh, that's what you do for a living. Okay. Okay, cool. And how much do you make a year?
I make about $95,000.
And where are you based out of?
It's a company based out of DC. I just joined them in August, and I'm coming from a different job that was making around 72K. So yeah, they're based out of DC, and I'm working remotely in Fort Worth.
And if you had to describe where you are in your overall financial journey, best described by you, what would that be?
I'm financially literate, but it is not... I'm trying to make sure I can afford all of my goals and all of the things that I want and make sure I'm on track to retire and do everything that I want to do in life.
What are your goals?
Short-term goals, I'm wanting to buy a car. And then for long-term goals, I just want to be able to retire, buy a house, all that good stuff.
What's the status of your car right now?
I drive a 2006 Honda Civic. It has about 150,000 miles on it. Kind of a crap box car. Couple things hanging off of it that are held by twine. So it's not in great shape. I know I'm going to be needing one. So I did actually order a Ford Maverick, or I put in a down payment for a Ford Maverick, about $500 this month. But I'm hoping I can afford it. I'm very sure I could afford it, but I just want to make sure I'm able to afford that.
What will the price of the car be that you want?
About $28,000. That's set to go up because those are the prices for the 2022 models, but the 2023 models, they don't know yet.
When would you be getting yours?
So the funny thing is with these cars is that the 22 models are still, the people that ordered them in 2022 are still waiting for them. So it might not be until late in 2023.
And that's when you'll owe the $20,000?
Yeah, whenever that comes in, I'll get the option to buy it. So even though I put the $500 down, I have no obligation to that car. So if we decide today that it's not a great financial purchase, it's not something I have to buy.
Do you think your car will last until then?
I hope. It's hard to use down here in Texas.
Why?
The AC is terrible. There's no backup camera. I'm from Pennsylvania, so the driving is very different up there than down here. There's a lot of crazy drivers down here, so it'd be nice to have some options for seeing the blind spots and everything like that on the mirrors. So I'm looking for a safer car. I don't know if I would like new, but if that money could be used elsewhere in a smarter way, I'd rather be doing that than buying a brand new car. But this is a car I've wanted for almost 3 years now. So
okay, so that's the near-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look into your finances then. So we have a checking account. It's in your virtual wallet.
Mm-hmm.
In here, you have a balance of 188.
Yeah,
it's an incredibly low balance for a checking account.
I like to manage my finances in a little bit of an odd way. I keep my spending account because that checking account is tied to those three accounts, the reserve and the spending. I like to keep that spending account at around 200 and put everything on credit cards so I can earn some points.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I get paid through that spending account, and everything that I don't use that month goes right into savings. So that account usually stays at around 200.
This is a lot of transactions for someone who spends everything on a credit card.
Is that the checking or is that the spending?
I don't know. It's under the in the file that was sent for the checking, specifically labeled checking.
That might have been. So I do keep my phone. The iPhone has the ability to have the credit card on there, or you can add your debit card. So whenever I don't want to pull out my credit card, I usually will just use my debit card coming off the phone. So that might be what a lot of those purchases are for.
I mean, you labeled it checking, so maybe it's just another credit card?
No, I have it should be, if it's a PNC, there's a checking, and then there's a debit card.
But Points Visa would be the credit card.
Yeah, Points Visa would be the credit card.
This one specifically says virtual wallet, and you labeled it as checking, so this would be debit card spending, right?
That'd be debit.
So for someone that puts everything on credit cards, again, I will say this is a lot of transactions.
Okay. Yeah, well,
2 pages of transactions.
It's pretty haphazardly managed. It's not super strict like that.
Okay. So what in the world is Tom Thumb?
Oh, so it is a grocery store that is right across from my house.
Yeah, you go there about twice a day.
Yeah, it's that one's getting really absurd. I've noticed I've been spending there quite a lot. Usually, if I'm cooking at home, I'll grab groceries from there. If it's just like maybe one or two things, so there's a lot of low amounts on there, but it is kind of an expensive grocery store. So if it's like, I think I bought a pound of ground beef over there for $10 the other day. It was kind of ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, you're spending a stupid amount of money at Tom Thumb across all your accounts. It's crazy. But this is the checking account where you're really not getting a benefit. And Nintendo and Tom Thumb, and there's your forward down payment of $500. So I was wondering what that was, but that makes sense. Transferring to Venmo, Zelling, another Nintendo payment.
Yeah, a lot of those Nintendo. I don't actually play Nintendo anymore, so it's like I think that's just kind of a recurring expense that I need
to cancel.
I got to cancel that extremely quickly.
Summer Moon, another Venmo thing, Tom Thumb, Panther City Barbecue, a Square payment, Somnia Cookies, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb, an Apple subscription, Tom Thumb, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb, Nintendo, DoorDash, Crunchy Girl, Grano, Tom Thumb, Tom Thumb, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb. Summer Moon, Tom Thumb. I see a reoccurring process of Summer Moon in the morning, Tom Thumb at night.
Yep. It's the coffee shop is pretty addicting. I do make a lot of my coffee at home. I usually only do Summer Moon on the weekends. I kind of stopped going to Summer Moon almost completely. Tom Thumb though, that's still a very heavy one.
By like today,
a couple weeks ago, I would say. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, probably not more than 2. But that would be a good thing to cut out because you're not even getting benefits on these purchases, and you're just spending so much money on here, and then bringing the balance down to 188. Now, I don't like that balance in a checking account, but if you're very carefully managing it, it's not a terrible thing. But then we have a credit card within this account too, and guess what? Cook Shack, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb, Amber Shed, Wishbone, Anna's Island, Pre-Kindle, Tom Thumb, Cook Shack, Ascension Coffee, Tom Thumb, Boomer's Grill, Michael Stores, Second Rodeo, Adam and Eve. Isn't that a naughty place, if I'm not mistaken?
That's correct.
He's naughty.
I just started seeing someone, so a lot of these are dates that I'm going out on.
And then he cleaned himself up by going back to Tom Thumb and the flower market. See, the PG side of the dating life, the flower market. And Poag, Mahomes, and going there again. And then 2 Tom Thumbs, then again to the Mahomes. Then Tom Thumb, Jungle, Dick's Last Resort, House of Blues, Summer Moon, Tom Thumb, Chef Point, Martin House, Tom Thumb. And I have to screenshot these and put them all on the screen.
I know,
so your
bad.
Tom Thumbs are making my life suck butts right now. But you go there twice a day across all these accounts. And that's not even all the accounts. So there's even more. But what are you doing? You're spending like all your money at Tom Thumb.
It's getting ridiculous, I know. Yeah, I don't keep a lot of food in the house. I was shopping at Aldi's most of the time a few months ago, but the convenience factor, it shouldn't be the case, honestly. But yeah, that's why I've been shopping so much at Tom Thumb. It's not even that it's a lot of food. It's just really expensive over there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, it might be time to say how much you're allowed to spend on food, and then you don't spend more than that when it comes to grocery shopping. Well, when it comes to anything, but when it comes to grocery shopping, because you were just blowing your money at Tom Thumb. That's crazy. Look at all those X's on there.
I looked at Mint the other day, and I noticed from, what was it, maybe July, it was around $500 that I spent on food. Maybe more. I think it was definitely over $500 though. Now,
there were more payments on the same card.
What was that?
There were more payments on the same card. More charges, I should say.
There were?
Yeah. American Gardens. Trinity College, something there. A bodega. Forge Fitness. Summer Moon. The bodega again. Buffalo Wild Wings. The Yard. Amazon. DoorDash. Insomnia. In-N-Out. Summer Moon. Maple Branch, Tom Thumb, an Amazon purchase, Summer Moon, Chimneys, Tom Thumb, going back to that, Steam Games, Chili Pepper Grill, Buffalo Wild Wings, a Steam purchase again, Amazon, and Amazon. So, that is just so much money being spent on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous. I've never looked at all of those at the same time.
It's important to look at what you're spending money on. Good news, $95,000 a year. Mm-hmm. So that's super good. Can you fit this all in? I mean, you're fitting it all in without holding balances on credit cards.
Mm-hmm. That's
because
correct.
You pay off your credit card every month. You're doing this while still putting money towards savings.
Yes. Everything that I get, I just put right into my savings, and I usually don't touch the savings. That was going to be all for car fund, but depending on what we talk about today, it might not all be for car fund.
What then matters is just the percentages that you're putting towards things. Stupid percentages going to Tom Thumb. Mm-hmm. And you correctly noted that, a stupid amount was also going to Summer Moon Coffee, but you've since corrected.
Absolutely.
So it's time to correct the Tom Thumb. That's what I'm immediately seeing called out on the spending across the different cards. There is another card. You open the Quicksilver card so you could take advantage of rewards opening.
Yeah. So I bought an electric skateboard with that. It was around $700. I ended up having some rewards points from my old job. They gave me around $130. Then I opened the Amazon card, which gave me another $100 towards that purchase, and that one was $200. So it bought around $350.
Southwest Rapid Rewards. Not much here. There's $160 of purchases, but there's actually not any specific purchases on here, so I'm a little confused.
Interesting. So this one I actually use for my gym membership. That's Forge Fitness. That's $160 a month every month, and I only use for that.
Yeah, and for some reason it's not showing up in the documents sent over. And then the Freedom Flex, no purchases here, and then you paid off your balance.
Yeah, usually all of these cards that I've opened have only been for the rewards, so I really don't use them.
Sure, that makes sense. So what do you bring in post-taxes, contributions, blah, 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 on a monthly basis?
So this is actually the first time I've had it's been a crazy month because whenever I first started this job, they gave me a $5,000 bonus, and then they gave me around 3 weeks worth of pay with that first one, and I didn't have my 401k in there. So whatever you're seeing that was brought in isn't my regular amount. But yesterday I got paid for the first time, and it was around $2,500.
And that's is that bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly. Maybe it was around 26, 28. I want to say 26. That's
we're going to call it $5,000 a month.
Okay.
And then continuing within the virtual wallet, you have a $20,000 thing there.
Yeah, I like to use that one as my emergency fund. That's probably more of a year's worth rather than 6 months. But I don't touch that at all.
Well, what I'm curious is this a different account, the one that's at $17,000?
Yes, that's a reserve account. So yeah, PNC comes with the spend, reserve, and the savings, and then whatever. I don't use it traditionally, how you're supposed to, basically. And I'm using that one as more.
Is this the car fund?
That was pretty much the everything fund. I was going to put $15K towards the car, but with the bonuses I got from the job I was leaving, and then the bonus I got from that other job, that ramped up to $17K pretty quickly. So now I'm considering putting more into it and having all that go towards the car, because I've never had a car payment before, and I don't exactly want one.
And there's really no reason to. And then you track your net worth. You say you're at $23,000. So that means there's something negative.
Oh, that's for retirement. That's for my old job. That's 401k.
Oh, okay. So it's not your actual net worth.
Yeah. I think that's just what it says in the.
Okay, so your retirement savings plan. What is this invested in?
Oh, God, if I know. I think it's in a lot of... I just chose one of the pre-made ones for whatever they came with for work. I think it was more focused towards tech, but I don't choose the stocks or anything like that. And I was putting around 8% in that one at the time. The company matched 10. Or they put in 10, I put in 8. It was a weird contribution. And now I'm putting in 10% for mine, and they're putting in 6. So it should be around 16. Okay,
so you have $20,000 in there, $23,000, then $17,000. So you're essentially, so like $60,000.
Yeah, probably
savings.
Around there.
And then you're starting your 401k now at your new place.
Yeah, and I still haven't rolled this over. I don't know if I should. I probably should. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be to keep it. I just haven't thought about doing it. It's a very new account, so I just have to figure out the process of getting it over.
What's your monthly rent?
It is $1,600. Actually, it's $1,550, but with like electricity, water, everything, it's around $1,600.
Your utilities are only $50?
No, not electricity, but with all the other fees in there, like the pest control, the water, it's usually around $50. So it's about $1,600. That's what I usually pay forward.
Sure. And then, do you have any student loans?
No student loans.
Okay. Did you go to college?
Yeah. I went to Penn State, and I majored in security risk analysis.
And it was covered by the parents or scholarships? Or what?
It was covered by inheritance from grandparents, and then I was in, I think it was like $10,000 to $12,000 of debt to my parents because they helped pay for that last semester. I couldn't get a loan for whatever reason. I tried to have my mom co-sign, but it ended up not working. So we ended up we kept a tab, and I just paid her back $12,000 whenever I first got out. And
how quickly did you pay it back?
Pretty quickly, because I lived at home for about a year during that time.
$60,000 net worth, because you have no other debts, correct?
No other debts.
And priority number one is replacing this car, essentially.
It still works. I don't know if I should run it into the ground or if I should just get a new one now.
What I would do in your situation, because you're kind of still just getting started in a way, you don't need a Ford Maverick now. You'll get a nice, cool electric car, within a few years.
Yeah.
I think you take that deposit back, or you can keep it there because who knows? It could be a very long time until it's possible. What I would do now is I would find a good AC with a backup camera, few years old, used $15,000 to $20,000 car, and I would just use the money you have saved up in that $17,000 account and just purchase it.
No, do you have a certain range I should be buying in?
15 to 20.
15 to 20K? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I think I can probably make that work.
Yeah. And just look everywhere, and even if you go by private sale, just take it to a mechanic that, if you don't know one, just kind of, I guess, a random mechanic, and make sure you get their sign off that it would be a good car and actually last. Just do your research, take your time, don't rush into it because it's not an emergency with your car, but you can just start today, start looking for a car in the $15,000 to $20,000 range that meets the things you're looking for, that is, probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 years old.
Okay.
And that's okay. And then drive that for quite a few years, and feel free to save up, pretty slowly, non-aggressively, another car fund. And then maybe when you're like 30 or something, get like a brand new car.
Okay.
Because I think your retirement accounts will be in a better place then. Having a brand new car that is probably going to be more than your 401k worth, I just don't like that.
And I work from home, so it's not insane. It's not something I really, really need. So I'm just trying to weigh that out right now.
Really, the cheaper you can go, the better. But, get something that you feel comfortable with, because you're not in a desperate situation of needing to get like a clunker. So just get something that fits what you need on the cheaper end.
Perfect.
That you can. So that's what I would do there. And then whatever's remainder there, probably just throw it into a Roth IRA.
Okay.
Well, whatever's left for a year. Do you have a Roth IRA?
No, I do not. I need to get one. And I know the longer I wait for it, the worse it's going to be for me in the future, or at least in the amount that I get back.
Well, the year's almost done. I would get a car definitely on the cheaper end. See if you can maybe even go closer to like $12,000. Then try to max out your Roth.
Okay.
Because the year's almost done, and then next year you can do it a little slower. But right now you need to throw $6,000 in there within the next couple months.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then as far as savings goes, do you recommend getting a high yield savings account?
Sure. Yeah, you can put that. I don't know what the interest is that you're accruing on your emergency fund, but
it's pitiful. It's not great. I've heard really bad things about it. I honestly couldn't remember the number off the top of my head, but I know PNC isn't notorious for great interest rates.
With interest rates going up in general, putting things into a high yield right now makes sense because they're already over 2% now, at least the halfway decent ones. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. And then how much are you putting towards your 401k right now?
It's 10%, and then the company does 6%.
Any reason you're doing the extra 4%?
Just to have a better retirement. I know a lot of people max theirs out, or at least the people that a lot of my friends max out their 401ks. But I wanted to do more than what I was doing with my last company, and just make sure I can retire at a good age.
Is this 401k Roth based?
Yes, I put this one in a Roth.
Oh, okay. If it's Roth based, then yeah, go for it.
Okay.
And if you can, may as well max it out. I'd max out your Roth IRA first, because typically probably has some better management fees.
Okay.
But then if you were to, then the 401k, sometimes it really depends on what's managing it, but sometimes their fees can be a little meh. So you may as well get the best results out of a Roth IRA with something like Fidelity or something.
Okay.
Max that out every year. And then if you can get close to max, I don't remember off the top of my head right now what the 401k match is for this year, or max, but it's large. It's a lot of money.
Gotcha.
And you probably wouldn't do it, I think. You could if you wanted to. But.
Yeah, I still want to have some money set aside or be able to do other things if need be. But I definitely will open up a Roth because I think that's probably something I should get on now that I'm 25.
Yeah. You had a crypto thing that wasn't printed out. What's in there?
Oh, God. So I invested heavily into crypto whenever I was...
Heavily?
Heavily.
Okay.
So I put around 18K in there.
Oh.
And it went up to around 32. Didn't take it out. Was an idiot. Now it's around 3,500.
Oh. From 17 to 3,500?
Yeah, that was...
Oh.
It hurts.
Why? That's so bad.
It was probably the biggest learning...
What's it in?
So it was... I started in XRP, and then I was in HBAR for a while, and now I'm in one called CRV. These are all like very odd named coins. I liked what they did at the time, but now I just am not into it. Like I understand, like it's cool and everything. I don't know if it'll go up or not. I don't know if I should just take that out and use it and maybe put it towards that savings account.
I don't know. The $3,500 isn't a crazy amount for you. Mm-hmm. I think if... Okay, so this is what I would do, non-official financial advice, were I in your shoes. I would aim to get that car in cash right now and aim to max out the Roth IRA.
Okay.
If you can do that without touching the crypto, do it. And maybe I would leave the crypto because it's not going to make or break you.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know whether I should keep it or not.
If you can't do all that without touching the 3,500, then pull what you need.
Perfect. Gotcha.
That's what I think. Because, I mean, I don't. Nobody knows, but it could come back, and we can essentially just you can write off on yourself, for yourself that 3,500 is lost, and if there are gains, and the next time that it's, maybe even at like 10,000, then maybe pull it there.
Oh yeah, I've learned to pull now. It's never gonna make that mistake again.
But what I would do, I would just essentially consider it less and then loss, and just let it do whatever it does.
Okay.
Maybe because it's not gonna make or break your financial situation. But if it gets in the way of the goals by the end of the year that we're trying to achieve, then that's where we can pull from.
Perfect.
So the car, that was kind of a near-term financial goal.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you trying to achieve that weekend?
Really, it was just a lot of it was that car fund. I probably should be saving for a house at some point, but I don't know where I'm going to be ending up as far as life. So I probably don't want to buy one now or anything like that. So I probably I don't know if I should have a separate account, or I don't even know how much percentage wise.
How many years do you think?
How many years till I find out where I'm going to be at, or
I'd say until you'd want to buy a house.
I'd say 3 to 4.
3 to 4. What you could do is definitely the Roth IRAs max out every year. Then maybe boost the 401k to like 15%. Then I think that in total will get you to 20%, which is great. Then maybe throw an extra few $100 a month if you can to like just some well-managed brokerage accounts or something like that that's not tied up in a retirement account.
Okay.
Things that'll just essentially mimic the S&P 500. Since if maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to think. With it, you're in that interesting spot where it's not. Well, you're in the sweet spot where I can't like determine would it make more sense to have that fund be performing in the markets, statistically speaking, or in a high yield savings, which will just keep up with normal inflation. If you think it's going to be on the longer side, let it perform with the markets. If you think it's going to be on the shorter end of that, high yield.
I think because the markets are down, it might be a better way to do it, right?
It depends on, just depends on if it's going to be on the shorter end or higher end of the waiting before you get a house, you think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think the car, the house, that's really it so far. Those are the quick financial goals that I have. No other big purchases that I have coming up or anything like that. So, and I'm setting stuff aside for health. I have an HSA and everything. So everything's good on that front.
Then for my end, I would cut back the ridiculous grocery shopping. I would budget yourself. You need to budget yourself. That's where you're falling right now. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to save more money, not relying on bonuses. You'll be able to save more money towards a next car, to a home, and to the Roth IRA.
Gotcha.
You haven't been doing that so far, and that within itself is a mistake. So, there's certainly things to clean up, because it's been a couple years now where you could have been maxing that out, which would have been awesome, but
it would have been better in the long run.
Yeah, because your spending is pretty intense.
Yeah.
So just budget in order to, after your 401k, I'd boost that, since it's Roth based, maybe up to like 15%, and figure out what you need to put aside monthly to max out your Roth IRA, $500 a month essentially.
Gotcha.
And then divvy up how much you want to put aside for a car fund, maybe another $500 a month. $250 goes to another car fund, $250 goes to a house, maybe more for the house.
I only have those 3 accounts. Do you recommend just opening up more accounts for those?
Sure, for high yield savings, sure.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, not for high yield savings, but as far as the other car and the house stuff, do you recommend just getting a whole nother account? Because right now I only have those 3. They're all kind of lumped in for everything here.
Go for it. Again, where those are being put are just saving up, so I put them in high yield ones. And then you could open with Ally, and they have those different bucket accounts that you can put things in. So
gotcha.
That works. I don't know. You could shop around for the best rate. Ally used to be kind of top of the pack for best rate, and they haven't been as much anymore. They're still higher than the middle of the pack, but still. So look around. That's what I would do. So then you're maxing out your Roth IRA every year. You're contributing really well to your 401k. You're saving up for, a dream car purchase in like 5 years.
Okay.
And you're saving up for a home for a down payment, 20% on hopefully a 30-year fixed. Within the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just have to figure out how long you want for how much to put down on a home, and then calculate how much you're putting towards that, and then budget the rest out for groceries and stuff.
Sounds good.
That's what I think. Any final thoughts?
No, just got to stop going to the grocery store, honestly. So much.
Yeah. Let Connor know what you think about his financial situation in the comments below. And if you want to see these happen live as well, talk with me on a daily basis and have a video chat once a week, feel free to join my private Discord, which is linked in the description below, and it really helps this channel grow. Shout out to my 4 Cups of Coffee supporters: Abdil Martinez, Mark, Josh Bennett, Clayton006, Tyler Chong, Drew Smith, Timothy Williams, Sam I Am, Jason Spriggs, Nicholas Daly, Tom L, Jay Freedom, and Hans. 8 Cups of Coffee supporters making the dream come true: Joseph Strickland, Anthony, an anonymous supporter, and Sam V03. Subscribe and stick around for more. Thanks.